Hey guys, my name is Andrew and today I'm going to be teaching you how to do some origami. The goal of this channel is to kind of try to get you involved in different hobbies that you can try that don't involve, looking at a screen. I'm going to show you 3 different types of origami. So I'm going to show you a very simple one. It's just a little ninja throwing star. You might have seen it as a kid. And then the second one is a little bit harder, is going to be your paper crane. And if you kind of like pinch the front, you can like make it flat. So that's the paper crane. And then the third one, which is more advanced, is going to be this this 3D star. This one takes 6 pieces of paper. So we're gonna get started. First one we're gonna do is the easiest one. So that's the ninja throwing star. So for the ninja throwing star, we're going to fold our square in half. I have some links below of types of paper that you can buy online, or you can print out paper, or you can just use printer paper. I like to rip mine in half, just because I've been doing this for a long time. It's just easiest for me to kind of rip it, but I would recommend first making that crease and then just cutting it if you don't want to have to go through that process. But yeah, so I go ahead and rip them or cut them or whatever. I just wanted to mention to you guys really quick, for all of these designs, you have to make sure that you're using a square piece of paper. So if you're using printer paper, there's a way to make it into a square really easy, and I'll leave a link down below of how to do that. And then also I'll leave some links of like packets of paper you can buy that are color origami paper that are already square. And then also there's templates in the links that show you how to make the origami like based on the folds that are on the paper. And except for the one that we do at the end, because that was a little bit more advanced. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know, it has to be a square. I'll show you how to make a square. Super easy, not a big deal, but yeah, just very important. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up, as they say. I think they call it hamburger style, but I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to have you look at where I folded it, and then I'm going to go up like this again. Okay, so there's my 2 folds. I'm going to turn them diagonally, and I'm going to fold in half. This is how they say hot dog style. Hot dog style. Okay. Now with this next fold, we're going to be doing a fold on this one, and then we're going to be doing like the opposite of that fold on this one. So whatever we do on this one, we're going to do the opposite on this one. So we see this middle crease right here. We're going to take this side, the right side, and we're going to fold diagonally to touch that crease. Right there. So basically like this, it's kind of hard to see with this. This is where we're going to be folding. We want to try to get that diagonal crease, so we're going to be folding up like that. Okay? And then similarly, we're going to be folding this crease now, so it's going to be down, just like that. We don't want them to overlap in the middle, but we want them to just be kind of just barely touching each other. So just like that. So now, just like how I said before, we're going to be doing this one the opposite way. I'm going to go ahead and just flip it upside down to where the creased part is at the top. And I'm going to fold it down on this side and up on this side. Just like that. So they should be looking like that so far. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them around, and I'm going to do similar to what we did before. I'm going to do opposite on each side. So on this one, I'm going to be creasing it down the side, or diagonally, so it's going to look like this. It doesn't have to look perfect. One thing I really don't like about this printed color paper that I'm using is the fact that sometimes it's not perfectly square, so you get these missed angles that you don't want. So that's how that's going to look, and then we'll flip it. And we'll do the same thing to the other side. So we're going to make it, we want to make it kind of like a zigzag shape. So it's going to look like that. And they're going to be opposite of each other. That's what we have so far. And then for the simplicity of it, what I like to do is I will take this and I'll fold this triangle into the middle part, and I'll do it the same for the other side. So it makes this little tiny diamond shape. That just makes the next step easier. So I just fold those in and then I'm gonna fold them back out. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Fold that in and fold it in as well on that side, and then we'll fold it all back out. So that's what I'm left with. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip one of these around so that we have like the lines, and I'm gonna put it over top of this one. Now, the next step is I'm gonna take one of these little folds and I'm going to slide it underneath one of the diagonal pieces on the other piece. Diagonal piece on the other piece. I'm talking really great. And then I'm gonna do the same on the other side. It's gonna kind of be like when you fold in all of the sides of like a box that you're trying to shimmy close without using tape, if that makes sense. So you're gonna fit that in there. You wanna go past, like, you wanna go all the way into it. You don't want to go in between the two little pieces of paper. So that's what that side's gonna look like. We're doing good so far. We're having so much fun. Okay, next we're gonna flip it around and we're gonna do the other side. So this piece it makes it a little harder because that part is already like closed off, but we fold that piece into there, and then you gotta kind of sometimes like shimmy it around a little bit so that there's room. But then we're gonna fold this piece right into this crevice and kind of, like I said, just shimmy it around to where it's folded where you want it. Okay, so that is our first piece of origami. I would say this is a pretty easy one. The fact that it's two paper pieces might be a little bit more difficult for people, but I feel like it merges together really well, and it's super fun to throw around and pretend that it's a fidget spinner or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's the first one. So we'll go ahead and go to our next one, which is the paper crane. This one you might have done in school or whatever, but very fun to do. So we're gonna do that next. So whatever color side you want, we're going to go ahead and flip it upside down. Start with this side first. We're gonna obviously use a square, no cuts this time. We're gonna take the bottom and we're gonna fold it up to the top, making a rectangle. And then we're gonna rotate it and make another rectangle. Boom, boom. Then we're going to make it a diamond and we're gonna flip it upside down. Then we're gonna make a triangle, putting our bottom part to our top part. Make sure that everything's lined up. Like I said, this paper is horrible and we get things like this, even though I'm doing the proper crease, but it's okay. It is what it is. We're gonna fold it back down and we're gonna turn it 90 degrees, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so open it back up to the white side. We should have one going this way, one going this way, and then we got them also. I don't know why I'm doing this, but hopefully this helps. Okay, so now that we have all that set up, we're gonna keep it on a diamond shape. We're gonna take the sides of the diamond and we're gonna lift them up. You'll kind of see that those creases we made earlier start to happen, okay? We're gonna take the sides right here and we're gonna bring it together and we're gonna bring it down. And then we're gonna take this top part here and we're gonna bring it down as well. We'll flatten all this out real good. I like to use my nail to kind of crease the side as best I can. So that's what we're ending up with. For this whole interaction, we're gonna make sure that we have the open part at the bottom and the closed part at the top. So for our next move, we're going to see that middle crease right there. Boom, 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 boom. And we're going to fold this part, this corner part, into where that crease is. Again, make sure that obviously the open part is down here. So we're gonna fold that in like that, and you're lining it up in that way. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Fold that in there, and crease down. Perfect. Okay, so we got that, and then we're gonna take this part up here and just use this line that we made with the other two pieces as a reference point to where we're gonna fold down. So we're gonna fold, try to make sure you get all the way down so that the creases are right on that line, and then go ahead and fold that. So I'm gonna do that one more time. I'm gonna open all that up. I'll do a little drawing so it's easy to see. So I'm gonna fold in on this side, in on this side, and down on the top. All right, so then we'll go ahead and open all of that up. And we're gonna take a single piece of paper from the bottom and we're going to start folding it upwards, nice and slow. You'll see this kind of pocket start to form, which is good. And so once that pocket forms, we're gonna push in on the sides and we're gonna bring it all together up at the top, just like that. So I'll do that one more time. I'm folding up on this, it's making a pocket, and then we're gonna do like a reverse fold and we're gonna finish up with that like tinier, thinner diamond piece. Once that's completed, we're going to fold down on this crease that's already there. And that side, that wing is done. That's wing number one. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the whole thing around and we're gonna do, you guessed it, the same sheesh on the other side. So we're gonna fold to the crease, fold to the crease, and then fold down at the top. Then we're gonna open it up and we're gonna take the bottom and we're gonna fold it up to the top and we're gonna crease down the sides like that. Make sure everything is nice and creased, and then we're gonna take this top piece and we're gonna bring it back down. So that's what you should be left with. We're so close. We're so very close to being done. The next step is going to be making the tail and the head. Now, there's a way that I've always done this, but there's also sometimes some people can think of it as an easier way, but I'm not really sure. So I'm going to show you both, regardless. So what I do is I take a little singular, flap of this, and I kind of open it up a little bit, and then I hold the other side. And then I'm going to take the bottom of this other kind of piece that we have, and I'm going to fold it up, not all the way. I want to leave a little bit of room, and then this original crease went this way. I'm going to reverse that, and I'm going to make it go this way. So I'm reversing the fold, and I'm not, like I said, going to bring it all the way up. I'm going to kind of make a pinch right here so that it's not as tall. So I'm going to do that again. So this is where we were. I'm going to open up this little piece on the side, and I'm going to bring it up, but I'm not going to bring it up all the way. And then I'm going to pinch it the opposite direction, and then I'm going to pinch it shut. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the head. So similarly to how I did it down here, I'm going to kind of open this area up, flatten out the top, and then I'm going to pinch down on it, and I'm going to reverse the fold back to where it was before. And it's going to look like that. I'll do that one more time. So like this, push down, reverse the fold, and pinch down. Now I'm going to flip the body around, and I'm going to do something similar on the other side. It's just going to be a little bit smaller. So I open up that other side, I reverse the fold, and I'm going to make that pinch on this side, but I want the whole thing to be lower on the body. So I'm going to pinch it, and I'm going to crease it, and that's going to be my tail. So it's going to look like that when you're done. The other way that I'm assuming you can do this is, let's say you have your fold, right? Rather than opening up and going to another side, you could kind of try to, I guess, make some creases in that corner there, and then fold it shut like this, and then do it like that, but I don't really think that's necessary. So anyways, we're back here. We're almost done. All we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this triangle and we're gonna lift it up, and then flip it and take this triangle and lift it up. And that's our paper crane. And the way to make it flap, can be sometimes difficult depending on how well you were able to crease this. But what I like to do, it usually works the best, is I hold it right here. So I'm not on the base of it, I'm a little bit higher up where the head is, and I'm just gonna kind of make like a little tiny light crease downward. But I'm keeping that pinch, and then once I make it a little bit, downward crease, when I pull on the tail, hello, it's not working. a second. Maybe I have to go a little bit lower. One of my wings is not working for some reason. Maybe I'm the problem. Well, I got one of my wings to work. On this one that I made earlier, it was flopping a little bit better, but you win some, you lose some, I guess. But yeah, that's how we make a paper crane. And it's pretty fun. Show your friends how to do that. All right, I've got one more for you, and that is the most difficult one. This is 6 pieces of paper, and yeah, it's very fun. So go ahead and get started on that one now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more piece of paper. Okay. So all of the pieces that we make for this are going to be the same. So I'm going to obviously just show you one, and then we'll put it all together in a minute here. So we're going to start with a fold up. So color side is what we're starting with. We're going to fold up. And then we're going to turn it, and we're going to fold up again. And then we're going to flip it around. Next, we're going to fold towards the crease on both sides. So kind of a halfway point. And we're going to do that on both sides. Just like that. Open that up and turn it. And we'll do it again. This will make us 16 squares, and then we're going to go to the sideways world, and we're going to make a triangle. I love how my lingo is so perfect and origami-ish. Definitely not. Okay, then we're going to go sideways, and we're going to fold it again. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the square, and we're going to take our sides here and we're going to fold them in. So we're going to make a triangle like that. Sometimes these little lines get in the way, so you just want to make sure that you're getting this entire piece in here, and we're folding everything down. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a tree. So just kind of open up those different sections so that it kind of stands up like that. Then we're going to open it up a little bit here, and we're going to make some creases where those middle points intersect. So it makes almost like a little bit of a table. Oh, very nice table. So I have an inner rectangle, and then I have my kind of corners here. And then this is where it gets a little bit challenging. It's not too bad. I'm going to push down on the middle, and I'm going to put pressure on all the sides, and I'm going to make like an inverse of our triangle fold. So we want to make sure that all of the creases in the middle look like they're coming together good, and then we're going to pinch and fold. And this sounds exhausting, sounds like a lot, so we'll do it again, no problem. So we're going to make our tree. And then we're going to open up our tree, and we're going to try to make a table, just like that. And then we're going to, we want these pieces right here to go up, to go in. So we're going to put pressure and put a little bit of push down in the middle, and then we're going to get these middle parts to come towards each other. And we want to also make sure that on the bottom it's all creasing properly. So the bottom those lines should all be creased, and then we close that up. This is definitely a little bit more of an advanced fold, advanced project, but I think you guys can definitely make it happen. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these sides, and we're going to push down on the end of it. You can kind of open up the bottom a little bit and push down, and we're going to reverse that fold into itself, and it's going to make this one into like a rectangle instead of a little triangle and everything. So I'll do that again. Go from this, pushing that in, and go into this. And then on the other side, I'm going to go here, I'm going to push down, and I'm going to go to here. Okay. So that is the completion of one of our segments. Now you'd think, Andrew, you probably definitely, planned ahead for this, and you didn't, you're not gonna like make us wait for all the other 5 segments we made. But I did not. So I'm gonna get started on these, and you get started on yours, and we'll meet back up in a second. That'll be great. Okay, I'm back. So basically, we killed it. If you're watching this still, we killed it. So we're going to take our little things in our hands, and we're going to take the piece that is at a diagonal, and that piece is going to go in to, it's going to connect with one of the square pieces. So we'll get a square piece and a diagonal piece, and we're going to take the square piece and we're going to fit it in the middle of the diagonal piece. And you'll see in there that there's this little tiny like triangle right there. That's what's going to hold it all in place. But these two little legs of the square piece are going to go in between that triangle piece, and it should get nice and tight and flush like that. So I'll do it again. It's going to go right in there. It's going to get nice and flush. And once it's flush, we're going to take this triangle piece and we're going to lock it in. We're going to lock in. So to do that, we're going to put it kind of facing us, and we're going to open up this middle part of the other piece, and we're going to push down, invert that fold, and we're going to get it right into that square. So now this one is done. I know it sounds really confusing, very difficult. Don't worry, it'll get worse before it gets better. So we'll do the other side. So go ahead and grab this square, and we'll get a new piece. We're going to make sure that that's nice and opened up, and then we're going to feed it in there with the goal of it getting in between that little triangle. So it goes like that, and then we're going to take this part, and we're going to open this up, and we're going to inverse the fold, and we're going to stick it into that groove. Just like that. And believe it or not, we're going to do that for all of these pieces, and it just gets a little bit more complicated as we go. So those two are done. I have these two that I just completed. Now I'm going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to try to do the next two, but I have to put them in there at the same time because these are now, in the way. So this one and this one are going to be going into these two triangle pieces. So you got to kind of shimmy your way in there. I like to get like halfway in and then try to see if I can move this around and open this up to get the other one in. It's okay if you have to kind of pull it around a little bit here and there. One thing I will say is if you use bigger pieces of paper at first, it makes things a lot easier to maneuver. So that piece is in there. It's not super tight yet, but that's okay. And then to get these locked, it's a little bit harder because there's two of them. So you got to kind of move them around and try to press those in. I know this probably looks really confusing, but I feel like it just takes some practice. So we're gonna do this one as well. Fold that in and close it up. So now we have essentially both of those sides done, and this is where it becomes kind of the most difficult area because we have to fit this in there, but there's already all four sides. So at this point, what I do is I try to make it a little bit easier on myself. So I'm going to take the parts that are the diagonals, these ones right here, and I'm going to get them out of the way. I'm going to stow them aside. So I just have my 2 squares. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my next piece and I'm going to try to fit them onto those squares. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and press down on those squares, and then I'm going to try to lock in the sides as best as I can. So lock in that side, and then on the other side, I'm going to lock that one in as well. And then I'm left with these ones that I put out to the side. So I'm going to bring those back up, and these ones are going to have to go into these squares now. So you open them up and you want to kind of try to pull that apart and get that square into the triangle. I'm going to lock it in one at a time rather than waiting, because it's always important to lock in. And then I'll do this one. So I'm going to open this up, fit it in there, and I'm going to lock it. Just like that. Okay, so if you're still with me, you're still having fun, this is our last one before everything is locked. So for this one, I'm going to do the same kind of technique. I'm going to take these two tall ones, and I'm going to put them over to the side so that I just have these 2 squares. And then I'm going to kind of open these up preemptively so that they're ready to go. And I'm going to put them on the squares. Perfect. And then I have these open areas that I'm going to be inverting so that they're locked. Like that. And then on the other side too, I'm going to lock this side. Sometimes you have to kind of pinch them, shimmy them around a little bit. Okay, and then this is the hardest one. So I'm going to take this piece right here, and this square needs to go into this piece. So I'm going to bring it back and push it in and lock it. And then this is my last guy, so I'm going to open him up, and I'm going to fit this guy. So hard because there's no wiggle room at this point. I'm going to fit this guy in here and get it lined up, and then lock this one in. This is my last one. Okay, so now we have this little rectangular ball thing, and it's all fine and good and fun, but we want to make it into this final product. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these side pieces, all of these little sides, and we're going to fold it in 1/3 of the way into the middle. So it's kind of one of those things you just have to kind of get used to, but basically we're going to take it and we're going to try to fold towards the middle, but we're not creasing it all the way into the middle, and you want to try to hit this corner as close as you can. And it's just kind of like a 1/3 of a fold. So it's very weird shape, but we do that. And if we do it on all of the sides, they don't touch in the middle, but they get kind of close to each other, and it makes this really cool design. So that is what one of the corners looks like when you're done. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll do a new one. So folding it in, it should be about the same size as the one to its right, or wherever you just previously folded it. Fold that. It's my first time filming an origami video. It's actually my first time filming any of my videos for my hobbies channel, so if you're watching this far, I really appreciate you. I'm very excited to make content like this for you. Super special. So I'm just going to keep doing each side This part of the process doesn't have to be perfect because it's such an intricate piece that it's, you know, a little change is not that big of a deal right now. So just keep on going with each side. Keep on, keep on. Oh, I ripped it a little bit. It's okay. That is all right. Just gotta keep moving forward. Towards the end, they get kind of like tight. Like the pieces get kind of pushed together. So you just have to keep mining, essentially. Okay, almost done. It's not a good day to wear a sweater. I'm sweaty. And you can kind of mess with them after you're done, until you get the rough setup, just so that they're more tight on the top, more creased on the top, you know. But basically, that's what it makes, is this this cool star, and kind of a fun desktop thing to do. You can make them at all different sizes. This one's harder to make because it's smaller. You can also make it huge if you want. Yeah, I hope you liked the videos. Thank you so much for watching. And leave a comment if you were able to do any of these, and let me know what hobby you want me to teach you about next. Thank you. Bye-bye.